Every year, as the crescent moon heralds the arrival of Ramadan, over 1 billion Muslims worldwide embark on a journey of hunger, thirst, and reflection. But what if this ancient practice, ordained in the Quran over 1,400 years ago, holds secrets modern science is only now beginning to unravel? Secrets about our bodies, our minds, our spirit, and the very fabric of life itself? Let me take you back to 2016. In a lab in Tokyo, Dr. Yoshinori Ohsumi won the Nobel Prize for Medicine. His discovery? A process called autophagy, a Greek word meaning self-eating. It's the body's way of cleaning out damaged cells, recycling waste, and renewing itself. And guess what triggers it? Fasting. Now, imagine this. Long before microscopes or lab coats, the Quran described fasting as a shield, a protection, not just spiritual but physical and mental. Coincidence? Or divine wisdom waiting for science to catch up? Today, we'll explore how Ramadan, this pillar of Islam, aligns with discoveries about longevity, brain health, and even cancer prevention, and how generations of Muslims, breaking their fasts with dates and water, may have been nourishing a hidden science within their cells. Take Ahmed, a 45-year-old teacher in Jakarta. Like millions of Muslims, he wakes before dawn during Ramadan for suhoor, a meal as simple as dates, water, and rice. To him, it's faith. But inside his body, a silent revolution is unfolding. When Ahmed stops eating, his insulin levels drop. His liver starts converting stored fat into energy, releasing molecules called ketones. These ketones aren't just fuel, they're superheroes for the brain. Studies at Johns Hopkins University found they boost memory and protect against Alzheimer's. Imagine that. Fasting sharpens the mind, much like the Quran urges us to reflect during Ramadan. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. After 12 hours or more without food, Ahmed's cells activate those autophagy processes Dr. Ohsumi discovered. Think of it as a cellular spring cleaning. Damaged proteins, recycled, invading viruses, destroyed, cancerous cells, weakened. A 2021 study in Cell Metabolism showed fasting reduces tumor growth in mice by 50%. Could this be why the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Fast and you will become healthy"? Yet Ramadan isn't just about abstaining, it's about rhythm. The Islamic calendar follows the moon, shifting Ramadan 10 days earlier each year. This means Muslims fast in every season, summer's heat and winter's chill. Modern science calls this metabolic flexibility, training the body to adapt. Researchers at the University of Cambridge found people who fast intermittently, like during Ramadan, regulate blood sugar better and have 20% lower diabetes risk. But wait, how? Did desert dwellers 1,400 years ago survive without water in scorching heat? The answer lies in evolution. Humans are built to fast. Our ancestors didn't have supermarkets. They feasted in times of plenty and fasted in famine. Ramadan, in a way, reawakens this primal resilience. A 2020 study in the New England Journal of Medicine called fasting a switch that flips our metabolism from sugar burning to fat burning, reducing inflammation, the root of diseases like arthritis and heart failure. Centuries before terms like ketosis or autophagy entered textbooks, Muslim scholars hinted at this wisdom. Ibn Sina, the 10th century polymath known as Avicenna in the West, prescribed fasting to treat everything from headaches to digestive disorders. In his Canon of Medicine, he wrote, "The body's healing force is strengthened through hunger." Modern scientists agree. Dr. Walter Longo, a leading longevity researcher at USC, found that fasting for 12-24 hours triggers stem cells to regenerate the immune system. Think about that. Every Ramadan, Muslims inadvertently reset their body's defenses. But what about the mind? Ramadan isn't just a physical detox, it's mental. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever does not abandon false speech and acting upon it, Allah has no need of him abandoning his food and drink." Science now reveals why. Fasting increases BDNF, a protein that acts like fertilizer for the brain. A 2013 study in Nature showed BDNF boosts mood, creativity, and even fights depression. Ever notice how Ramadan nights feel more serene? It's not just the spiritual focus, it's biology. And let's not forget the gut. For 11 months a year, our digestive systems work non-stop. Ramadan gives them a rest. Dr. Sachidananda Panda, a circadian rhythm expert, found that time-restricted eating, like Ramadan's suhoor to iftar window, improves gut bacteria diversity, which is linked to stronger immunity and mental health. Yet, Islam's approach is uniquely balanced. The Prophet, peace be upon him, advised, fill 1/3 of your stomach with food, 1/3 with water, and leave 1/3 for breath. Compare this to today's intermittent fasting fads, where people binge on processed foods during eating windows. Ramadan's emphasis on moderation and wholesome meals, dates, barley, olive oil, aligns perfectly with Harvard's healthy eating plate guidelines. Now, let's address the skeptics. Isn't fasting dangerous? They ask. What about dehydration, fatigue? Here's the truth. The human body adapts. A 2019 study in the Journal of Clinical Medicine tracked Muslims during Ramadan and found their bodies learned to conserve water within days. Kidneys adjust, reducing urine output. Even athletes perform better. A UAE university study showed fasting football players had higher endurance and focus. But Ramadan's genius isn't just in the fasting, it's in the breaking. The Prophet, peace be upon him, recommended dates and water for iftar. Dates aren't just symbolic, they're scientific marvels. Packed with potassium, magnesium, and natural sugars, they replenish electrolytes without spiking blood sugar. Modern sports drinks try, and fail, to mimic this perfect balance. And what about community? The shared iftar meal releases oxytocin, the love hormone, which lowers stress and strengthens social bonds. A 2017 Oxford study found people who eat together regularly are happier and live longer. Islam knew this long before labs confirmed it. Fasting isn't unique to Islam. Jesus fasted 40 days in the desert. Buddha fasted for enlightenment. But Ramadan's structure, 30 days of dawn to dusk abstinence, is uniquely tuned to human biology. Dr. Rhonda Patrick, a renowned biochemist, explains that 12 TP 16-hour fasts optimize autophagy without muscle loss. Ramadan's 12 to 18-hour fasts, depending on location, hit this sweet spot. Even the pre-dawn suhoor meal has a purpose. Eating slowly digested proteins like eggs or lentils keeps energy stable. But here's the most profound parallel. The Quran says, in chapter 17, verse 82, "And we send down of the Quran that which is healing and mercy for the believers." Today, epigenetics, the study of how environment affects genes, shows that practices like fasting can turn on genes that repair DNA and fight disease. As the Quran says in chapter 14, verse 34, "And he gave you from all you asked of him. If you tried to count Allah's blessings, you could never number them." This Ramadan, as you pass the dates and share the water, know that every bite, every sip, is a dialogue between the divine and the DNA. A reminder that in hunger, there is healing, in patience, there is power, and in faith, there is science.